So they've got a stage name. They've just got a brand new stage name, and it sounds very sort of Bonesian, doesn't it? Please put your hands together for Lochran.
As I came in by second in one misty morning early, heard a lassie's sair lament for her true love no returning. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, oft times I've been cheery. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, there I lost my dearie. So I'll put on a good old green that say first, second token to tell the laddies round about that the bonds of love are broken. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, oft times I've been cheery. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, there I lost my dearie. Money's a horse, he's snapping and fawning, risen again for early. Money's a lad, he's lost his love and found another echt early. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, oft times I've been cheery. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, there I lost my dearie. So I'll go back to Strickington, for I was bred and born, and now get me another lad who'll marry me aye in the morning. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, oft times I've been cheery. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, there I lost my dearie. As I came in by Strickington one misty morning early, heard a lassie's sair lament for her true love no returning. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, oft times I've been cheery. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, there I lost my dearie. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, oft times I've been cheery. Farewell ye Mormon breeze, it's there I lost my dearie. So we all know that Robert Burns is a well-known poet, but he also collected songs. So this next one is one that he collected and added a bit to. I had a wee Google of it earlier, as you do, and you know, it was described as an insomniac's guide to unrequited love. So here we go.
It's quite a summery song as well, so it requires a bit of imagination this time of year.
Summer's a pleasant time, flowers of every colour, the water runs o'er the hue, and I long for my true lover. I walking still and weary, sleep I can't get none, for thinking, oh my dearie, I walking on. When I sleep I dream, when I wake I'm eerie, sleep I can't get none, for thinking, oh my dearie, I walking on, walking still and weary, sleep I can't get none, for thinking, oh my dearie, I walking on. bleer my een way greeting. I walking no, walking still and weary. Sleep I can get none, for thinking no, my dearie. I walking no, I walking no. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on a night to celebrate the Bard's birthday, I mean, who else should we have up? The Tan Hill Macker? Should we have a playwright? A #1 best-selling author? Should we have an actor? Should we have... He's a musician as well. We've had a jam before, haven't we? The Falkirk Bairn, one that we know across this country. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been living here for the last 10 years here in Lochwinnoch. We're proud to have him as one of our boys. Please put your hands together for Mr. Alan Bissett.
So this is from a novel called Death of a Ladies' Man. There's going to be a wee bit of audience participation. You'll know when it's coming. It'll be obvious. What is the trick to teaching a class? Tell us, maestro. Well, now that you ask, you've just made your first mistake. You don't teach, my young apprentice. You simply tune them up, conduct, and let the hymnal music cometh forth. Tap your baton, take the register. Daniel McIntosh, here, sir. Tory Walsh, sir. Now today, class, we're going to think about voices. Voices, sir. Yes, the suppressed voices of the Scottish working class as expressed through our nation's literature. Like funny voices, sir. Daniel does funny voices off the telly, comedians, sketch shows, catchphrases. The class laugh now. They have opened. Their wee thoughts are buzzing in the air. You must bring them under control and quickly. You must also do a funny voice off the telly to show that you understand their youth culture frame of reference. And if you succeed, they will laugh and you can grasp the threads of their attention like spider silk. Bring them towards you, away from Daniel McIntosh. Now you have them in. Maestro, your orchestra is before you. Now you should hear the lovely sound of their listening, pitch sharp, and you sharpen that listening further, grind it against the whetstone of your learning, so by the end they are in harmony. You must also think of their attention spans. Your lesson is 5 minutes. Even if your lesson is 45 minutes, it's still 5 minutes because their attention spans are frazzled. So you must make sure they don't lose interest. Bring them under control. Yes, control your orchestra. Bring them in, hit them, tame their childish souls with your passion for literature. Make them laugh, make them question, make them think. Now think about the structures that surround you every day, class. Race, religion. Screw religion, my young apprentices. A religious brain is a closed brain. Your brains are not closed. What are they, class? Open, sir. Exactly. Your minds are open. You are individuals. What are you, class? Individuals, sir. Now, you must move on. Neutralize any jokes. If any kid farts, move on. Cover it with a joke of your own. That's it. Don't give them an opening. This ain't freeform jazz. Keep it going. Ti-tum, ti-tum, ti-tum. Yeah. Now they know what a simile is. When Charlie had been a trainee teacher, he'd heard this talk from the headmaster of a Catholic school. A Catholic school. What could Charlie, an atheist, learn from Catholics? But this guy was giving practical advice, which the trainees wanted to hear. Tell us what to do when the kids set fire to the desks. Everyone laughed. The headmaster smiled and leaned into the lectern. Listen, guys. You learn to come and go with the kids. Order has to be maintained, but it's no a war. Get the class under control by all means. But teaching is about love. You'll not get very far if you think it's about discipline. It's always, at all times, about love. And Charlie had thought, yeah. Okay, class. Now, what are we going to be studying today? Probably poetry, sir. Correct. And is poetry cool, class? No, sir. Correct again. Poetry remains deeply uncool, and so it should, because cool is the refuge of the insecure. People think in herds, my class, and you are all unique. You make your own way in this world. You must never think in a herd. This is how they will trap you. Okay, now what day is January the 25th? Robert Burns' birthday, sir. Correct. And what does Robert Burns signify? Who was he? The greatest Scottish poet who ever lived, they all say in unison. Absolutely right. The greatest Scottish poet who ever lived. Poet, songwriter, genius, ladies' man. No Robert Burns, no Leonard Cohen. Leonard too, ask a geek. Anyway. You should now all have memorised the song we're going to sing at the school Burns supper. He tapped his imaginary baton again, held his hands in the air. So, when you're ready, class. 'Twas on a Monday morning, right early in the year, that Charlie came to our town, the young Chevalier. And Charlie, he's my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie, he's my darling, the young Chevalier. As he was walking up the street, the city for to view, he spied there a bonny lass, and through a window looked. And Charlie, he's my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie, he's my darling, the young Chevalier. So light as he jumped up the stair and tirled on uphill, and wadded he so ready as to let the laddie in. And Charlie, he's my darling, my darling, my darling. Louder! He's my darling, the young Chevalier. He set his Jenny on his knee, all in his Highland dress, for broad the wheel he kent the way to please a bonny lass. And Charlie, he's my darling, my darling, my darling. Very strong! He's my darling, the young Chevalier. Sunlight rang through the window. He looked at them. He looked at them. Now, he announced, poetry, people. Scottish poetry. With this, boys and girls, we shall overcome. We shall overthrow the tyranny of the British state and capitalism itself. He looked at them there on the battlefield. He raised his sword. Soon, my friends, soon, my brave soldiers, we shall crush the aristocracy and establish the great Scottish Socialist Republic on this very spot. And then he heard the voice to the back of the class. No way poetry will know, sir.
Called Where We Stand, and it could be about anywhere, but it's pretty much about this little village right here, and all the free whiskies that keep coming for the bar. Come up for the free whiskies.
She helps me to remember
young pretender's charm. And she carries the name symbol as she holds her heart, and she helps me to remember that home is the place where we start. Yeah, home is the place where we start. New connections uncovered, your history rediscovered. Fill a black cup to the corner. Turns out I've been here forever. And she carries the name symbol as she holds her heart, and she helps me to remember that home is the place where we start. Yeah, home is the place where we start. Yeah, home is the place where we start. Yeah, home is the place where we start. Where we Can somebody, that glass looks empty. Look, there's one here. Look, it's floating towards me. Are you sure? Is this Tuesday or Saturday? I can't remember. Yeah, look at this. Happy birthday, Rabbi Buns. Surrounded by the modern day Rabbi Buns. The Tannehill Marker, Mr. Alan Bissett. Right, so this one, he's alright.
Professionals.
Just totally killed it, isn't it?
Use them.
Oh. Right, just imagine it's 2 o'clock in the morning, right? We've drank all the whiskey, and the owner, Tony, has gone to his bed, and he's left us just the key, just like lock up and we're done. So we drank all the cheap whiskey and it's done, and we've had the Tia Marias and all that. We're now on to the fine whiskey at the top shelf. And this song comes on, right? And you all realise that you all know it. Oh, the summertime has come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme all around the blue heaven. Where you go, I see go whiskey, and we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme all around the blue heaven. Where you go, I see go. I will build my love above down by your crystal fountain, and round the table pile my true love, she will not come. I will surely find my lover to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Where you go, I see you go, and we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. One more time. Where you go, I see you go, and we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Where you go, I see you go. That was lovely, by the way, you singing everything. I have seen this man performing on stage many a time. In fact, I might have given him his first gig a few years ago. We'll call it 2 years ago. It was 12 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, not just Mr. Sean Moore, but the Tannahill Macker.
Cheers, folks. Aye, Tannahill Macker, that's for outsiders, that's the Paisley Poet, that's Paisley's version of Burns. No half as famous, no half as talented, if we're honest. But tonight's about Burns. But I'm not going to do any Burns, so I'm not. He never did any of mine. I love Burns nights, I love the free whiskey, I love the guy had some great patter. But sometimes the Burns nights, they can be a bit kind of maudlin and a wee bit Auld Lang Syne and Absent Friends and all that, and I'm not into the nostalgia so much. If I could turn back the clock, if I had another try, just one more shot, if I could only live my life again and what I know now, if I only knew then. If I could take a second bite at the cherry, or do that special effect like the old movies, the calendar dates flying past, reversing fast, the pages flipping. If I could build a time machine like wee Stewie Griffin, or more like the original for Calvin and Hobbes, wee Calvin's time-travelling cardboard box. Check out Calvin and Hobbes, by the way. It's the world's best ever comic strip. Or maybe that's just how I remember it, on a nostalgic trip. See there, nostalgia. Nostalgia, that is the key. And some say nostalgia ain't. Thank you. I knew there was an erudite audience. That's yearning for passing time to be reclaimed. Nostalgia could be one definition. Reprieve, reprise, rerun, regain, reawakening, rejuvenation. If life had a wee button marked rewind. If I could turn back time. Because we all share the dream of the fount of eternal youth. Fighting grey hair or nae hair, long in the years or long in the tooth. To the salon and dive into their mythical spring, splash the cash to make a mask, chunky lips on chip and pin, pop out with a puffy pout, please call again, feeling quite the catched, hooked on collagen. Or plastic and pinbacks and Botox and nip and tuck to slow the wrinkled hands of the body clock. Slow down the hourglass's shifting sands, stop all the clocks in their sweeping hands. From H.G. Wells' original time machine to Marty and Doc in a shiny DeLorean. Doctor, who wouldn't love a trip back in a TARDIS? Escape a maudlin midlife crisis. To play again a second childhood reborn. In rude health, the age of innocence gone. Or wishing to rectify old mistakes. Make amends, fresh start, clean slate. Is it fear of growing old, of death and decay? Hoping to recover. Days you don't really remember, but you have to believe, my friend, those are the days. But it's useless. Wasting time with yearning. So use this passing time for learning. Minding life's lessons so that although you can't relive the past time, but you can live in this time. And I hope that next time might just be the best time. Cheers. Again, for the folk outside, the big wide world that are watching this, on this lovely Burns night. We're here in Lochwinnoch, and there's a real chunk of people in this room, maybe most, I've not done a head count, but I'm no gatekeeping, who are part of the local community, and music community as well, in the wider area. And that's a big deal. Do it in your own community. Get a wee music thing. We all meet weekly and we do this kind of thing. It's how life starts. It's music amniotic, your mum's beating heart, an echoing chamber, hypnotic, rhythmic rockabye, steady BPMs till the debut night, opening curtain screams. Plucking the first chord, the umbilical, natural and natal, this song is primal. Then clapping the back with a lullaby, patting the pulse and soothing the cry, beats building a baby body, endorphins ending the teething pain. Then a little language learned through song, numbers memorised and mastered through rhyme, community singing in common rhythm, growing and learning, all in good time. Syncopating the synapses and building the brain, endorphins ending the growing pains. And life's changing to something awkward and wayward. You're feeling stranger and scared of looking forward. No else understands. You don't feel you belong till you find your own tribe and you share the same song with someone else in sync, a partner, no solo refrain. Endorphins ending the loneliness pain. Finding allies and forging lifelong friends. It's a pain-killing prescription for every event. For victory and defeat, for love and loss, from wedding march to last waltz, last post. It's a perfect soundtrack to an imperfect life story. Every scene scored deep with musical memory. When you want to forget, for commiseration. When you want to remember, for celebration. There's words of wisdoms for philosophers and gurus. Your fantasy figures and your teachers were your all-time heroes. It's your family in music, fulfilling every role. Your brothers in blues, your sisters in soul, sharing the pain. And that wee song will be the last memory to go when the wee drummer inside you can't beat anymore. Cheers.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. Paul Cameron here, one of our residents in Lochwinnoch. He's been writing some music with the Clacking Project as part of the Lochwinnoch Arts Festival, and it's a pleasure to have him here on this Burns night. Please put your hands together for Paul and Sean.
Okay. All right, so this one is it's a Corrie song, but it's not that well known. Hopefully, we'll see. Right, ready? I am a roving journeyman, roam from town to town. Whenever I get a job of work, I'm willing to sit down. I tinsel on my shoulder, crafting tool in hand. Round the country I will go, a roving journeyman. Come to Glasgow too, Ratsies jump for joy. Says one and two, another, well, here comes a roving boy. Some treat me to a bottle, others to a dram. Toast goes round the table, helping to the journeyman. Oh, I am a roving journeyman, roam from town to town. Whenever I get a job of work, I'm willing to sit down. My tinsel on my shoulder, crafting tool in hand. Round the country I will go, a roving journeyman. Handy been in Glasgow too, week but nearly 3. For the provost daughter went and fell in love with me. She asked me for to dine with her, took me by the hand. Proudly told her mother that she loved the journeyman. Ah, away you go, you silly maid, I'll hear you speak no more. How can you love a journeyman you've never seen before? brother sweet, I do a treat. Love him all I can, and around the country I will go to see my journeyman. Will you lintonary, turladdie, eh? Pots and pans and helping hands will see you through the day. Lintonary, turladdie, eh? Give a penny to the journeyman, help him on his way. So this is a song that I wrote for the Clackin project, and it's basically about, there are some kind of swimming / drinking / jumping pools just outside the village called the Gurrets, and they've been there for generations, where people swim, jump and drink. So it's a song about that space there. It's basically about a middle-aged man jumping into a pool of water. Ready?
And then drinking it.
Some of it. Not all of it. Right. To the end, at the finish of the day, were beneath my feet had fallen away as we stumbled through the thick, trying to make some sense. And you said, stay with me, let me lead the way, let's jump into the dark, come out into the light. Jump into the dark, it will be alright, be alright. Took me to a place that I had never been, up along a river, down a deep ravine, and we came upon a space filled with voices and drink. You said, stay with me, let me lead the way, let's jump into the dark, come out into the light. Jump into the dark, it will be alright, be alright. Into the dark, come out into the light. Stood by the edge, looking down into the black. Quiet all around me, no going back. Stepped into the void, fell down fast. Cold, it hit me, cut me in half, and I jumped into the dark, come out into the light. Jump into the dark, it will be alright, be alright. Jump into the dark, come out into the light. Jump into the dark, it will be alright, be alright.
Jeanette Hill.
So this is a wee imagining. If I was an old woman, it's easy to imagine I'm an old woman. But if I'm looking back on a love affair with Robbie Burns, obviously a bit of a fantasy. So I first met Robbie in a snug part of my father's inn. My father was trying to make sure I didn't meet him, because he'd seen the effect on other lassies. They lassies flocked to hear him. The ploughman poet, they billed him as. But he was never that. He was never any ploughman I'd ever met. He was a man of passions and integrity, and well-read in things most of us have never heard of. He was an educated man. Murdoch, his tutor, had made sure of that. Him and his brother had been taught a whole world of knowledge, and he had a ferocious appetite for learning. But it wasn't what he knew, but the way he passionately expressed it that got his audience, kept us captive. We wanted to participate in that knowledge. Aye, he was no country innocent ploughman, but my lord, he was a poet. Such beauty flowed from him. Fathers needed to protect their daughters, like mine tried, from hearing that Pied Piper speak. His voice and words took over our senses until we were senseless, or more accurately, brought to our sensual senses and made to feel what Mother Nature always intended us to feel. That feeling was deep inside. Somewhere that was forbidden became opened, and there was no closing it down. As he spoke, blood came back to the dead. Burns was the perfect name for that effect. But his words were not all that set you aflames. His eyes were equally ablaze, burning out of life, yet eyes also full of weary care, and in such need, so much in need, that all womankind would try to meet them. Eyes set in a perfect noble face, handsome and sweet, with a promise of romance you'd wait a lifetime to have. His beautiful face is still burned into my memory, and I think on it whenever the weary toils of life weigh on my aging heart. Our time together was brief, but I have loved him deeply and quietly ever since. I have held that love in, and for a long time not spoken of it to a soul except my own. The connection has lasted through years, seasons, and changes, and not because it's perfect, but because it fills a part of my heart that still longs to feel alive and seen the way I was with him, however briefly. I understand what it was and what the world would say it was. It's not my whole life. It's a hidden corner of it, a space where I am understood and desired. I never expected it to be more, and I don't need to explain it to anyone. It simply is. And many like me hold that special passion for someone and think on them, maybe daily, or maybe just some morning before sunrise, or maybe when October comes around and you feel that cold shudder that needs shaking off. It gives us joy and pleasure and a peace to have known this love. That kind is rare and surely to be treasured and not denied. I can care for my Robbie, although he's gone long ago, without losing myself. I can love him and still belong to my life, my home, my life, my marriage, and most importantly, my peace. His presence is a warmth in my life, not its foundation, but it gave life to my heart and put heat in my loins, as it should be. After all these years, when I think of our time together, I enjoy it. The laughter, the touch, the familiarity. I won't spoil it by wishing it were something else, or feeling shame or regret. When we parted, I did ache for him. I filled that space with my own strength, my own joy, my own life, and that led to contentment. If this bond I have with him stops nourishing me, I will know. I'll recognize the shift, not with anger, but with honesty. I will release it with gratitude for all it once gave me: love, comfort, understanding of my own passionate nature. Lost too soon, my rap. My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June, and my love is like a melody that's sweetly played in tune. So fair art thou, my bonny lad, say deep in love am I, and I will love you still, my dear, though all the seas gang dry.
Ladies and gentlemen, from right here in Lochwinnoch, please put your hands together for the Family Club.
Here
met a lot of girls in my time. She's just one of a kind. She's mine. All night long, love on my mind. All night long, I got love on my mind. I've known a lot of girls in my time, but she's just one of a kind. She's mine. Seen a lot of girls in my time, but she still blows my mind. She's mine. Yes, she's mine. Oh, she's mine.
Looking forward to this. A brand new act for me. I've never heard these guys before. In fact, they've travelled all the way from Dumbarton. Please put your hands together for six.
The first song's a wee Scottish song, and it's a wee Andy Stewart one. It goes like this. They're dipping into the sky, nobody but girl up the sky. That's the shoe and I'll be mine. Our pressure through the dust. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets my big town go. All the lassies say hello. Our pressure through the dust. My lassie took me to the hall. It was the way in the hall. I was scared and I would call. Baby, my soul. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets my big town go. All the lassies say hello. Our pressure through the dust. When I went down to London town, had some fun on the underground. Ladies turned their heads around, saying, "Donald, where are your cowboys?" Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets my new town go. All the lassies say hello. Our pressure through the dust. To their kilts is my delight. It's like fun, I know what's right. Even dance with get a prize, doggies in my teeth. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets my new town go. All the lassies say hello. Our pressure through the dust. Well, the lassies want me, everyone. Let them catch me if you can. Carry the bricks in a healing man. I'll go where they choose to. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets I will go. All I see say hello.